Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. If this is your first time dropping in, thank you for choosing the weekend of the Halloween full moon to drop by. I thank you so much. And if this is not, if you are a recurring visitor, thank you so much for coming back. I had every intention of doing all readings for all zodiac signs by the full moon, but just to be quite honest, this is a very busy season for me almost every year, and yet again I am extremely busy, and now I'm doing all these readings, so I had to make a compromise with myself. So I didn't want to let everybody down. Here I am. We're doing a pick a pile today, and I have some treats for you. I brought in this beautiful Black Obsidian reflecting mirror, and at the end of this pick a pile, if you choose to stay, there will be time for you to simply reflect in the Black Obsidian mirror, and that's going to be the Halloween full moon treat here at the end. Will help you see into the other side of yourself, the shadow side of yourself, communicate with some ancestors and angels and spirit guides. The veil is thin right now, y'all. My ancestors have been literally talking to me like every day. They're everywhere. I can hear them in my ears all the time. I had Archangel Michael come through very strong for me last night and today. And so with that being said, let's just go ahead and jump into our pile. There's lots of activity. So this is going to be pile 1. This is pile 2. And then we have pile 3 over here. We have a Lenormand card to help show us what the reading is going to be about. And then we have mystery cards in each pile from the Steampunk Tarot, because that's about as Halloween as I can get at this moment. And I have this lovely new table spread for you featuring these awesome skulls. So let's do it, you guys. Pick from pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and let's get started. I'll see you in a minute. Hello, pile 1. Hope you're doing fabulous today. Let's get started with your reading. Right off the bat, it kind of gave me something, so I'm gonna wait for a minute. I'm gonna wait. It gave me a little something right off the bat, but it could have just been me, right? So, nice. It is wanting me to tell you that right before I started this whole reading in general, there was a flicker of self-doubt. And of course that is my own emotion sometimes as well, but I found it really interesting right here because I'm very comfortable doing these readings, and yet there was a moment, like a flicker of self-doubt before I started this reading batch. So there's definitely people in the collective dealing with that. Might not necessarily be your pile though. Let's see what's going on. So we've got 4 cards from the tarot. Ooh, my pinky is itching though. My little I always say this is my, because it's my right hand, it's my masculine, my right pinky is itching though. There is definitely something trying to come in here. So what is this particular reading gonna be about for you guys under the Taurus full moon, this Halloween double blue full moon? We have the Child. For the first time ever, it showed me this little bitty moon back here in the sky. So this is very much talking about, yes, the full moon timing, things being revealed to you. This could definitely be about a spirit baby. If you are someone who has been experiencing or believe you've been in contact with your spirit babies, it would be a wonderful time for them to come through since the veil is thin right now. So that could definitely be a message coming through. It did imply that for some of you, this might have been a child that has passed on. But for many of you, this is a spirit baby that you are becoming awakened to. It could also just be about children in general. I mean, Halloween, right? Halloween, we take our kids trick-or-treating, so it could be something as simple as that. It is feeling like a very loose interpretation at the moment. However, it is also suggesting, you know, children are born, right? It's new things. So it's overall some kind of new energy that's coming in, definitely related to children in some way, shape, or form. Let's see what the message is. That's what I was saying. For some of you guys, this is like a child that's passed on. And, you know, that doesn't have to mean a little child. This could be a full-grown adult that was somebody's child that passed on, right? But at one time they were this small child. There is definitely a pain in my left heart chakra right now that just came in. And it's very much implying, hang on, just wants me to sit with it. So there is a double meaning coming through. There's the double meaning of like this, there's an energy that previously ended. It could literally be that someone passed on before, but that's not at all what the death card has to represent. Right? Like what a card to come out straight the gate for this Halloween reading. Is beautiful though. Her wings are beautiful. They remind me of a Valkyrie or something like that. There is something that has ended before that you had to let go of, either a situation or could literally be a person, and you had to let somebody, something go, something that was precious to you, possibly like a child. And then this could be just letting you know that that type of energy is coming back, right? There's a rebirth. There is something about to be born. So what was formerly lost will now be found. Yeah, it just referenced like hide and seek for me, like the game hide and seek. That's what I mean. It was like something went into hiding, something died off, and maybe it's coming back type deal. This is interesting. It's kind of very mysterious at the moment. So let's see what's coming out. And it says, it just said you've been waiting for this. You've been watching for it. And it just brought me this wand right here, and how there's like a hole here in the middle of this wand. Like it's like shaped like a gear, but there's a hole in the middle. And it was like, this is the thing, you've been waiting because you've been missing part of the story, missing some of the information. It also just kind of gave this to me like a keyhole, like a peephole. And that's exactly what he's doing with this spyglass. It was just talking about looking onto the other side. Like that's the thing. It's like you've been looking for this type of refresh energy, or you've been looking for this contact. This definitely feels like past energy. Like this is not what it's, it is saying present though, because this is a Scorpio energy card and we're in Scorpio season, so there is that as well. But in general, this feels like a past energy, and it feels like you've been waiting on this season to come around. You've been waiting on Scorpio season to come around is kind of what the message is coming around. It's saying that for some people in the collective, we've been hearing that this time is really important for certain reasons. This season, of course, it's always very important. This is when the veil gets really thin. So it was saying like you've been waiting on this time for a long time. Okay. A little bit. Okay. You've been waiting on this season for a long time to also play with this childlike energy, because it's Halloween and we're coming into holiday seasons, and we've been going through this COVID, right? We've been going through all this stuff. We had to let a lot of stuff go. And that's where it's like, maybe you're just now feeling like we're going to finally get into that refresh energy. There's a bit of that too. This is a very complex pile, so I probably got several people reading, but overall the energies, we had to let some things go, possibly people, possibly situations, possibly things we wanted to do. And you've been very much waiting on this season because it feels like it's time to have like this total rebirth and refresh of it. This totally just felt like being at the costume store. So if you've already taken care of that and checked that off that list, right? You've already decided what we're going to be for Halloween. This is kind of, it just said you can do the same thing with your life. Like you can go to a costume store of your life and look at everything that's available and decide who you want to be, what you want to be. And what an interesting little metaphor coming through, because, right, we had to let some things go. We've been waiting on the season, and now it's like you get to go shopping for the new person you want to be. So who do you want to be? I do want to say that Led Zeppelin came up on my playlist today, so this little Zeppelin in the cup is kind of bringing up that music. Specifically, I was listening to the Immigrant song today, so there's some things about those ancestors and history. Definitely just like getting in touch with, it's saying specifically like the 70s. That's what I mean. It's like bringing up the music part of it, the age, the era. There's possibly some spirits trying to talk to you that connected to that music. And it just showed me this dragon too, and how Led Zeppelin kind of sings about Lord of the Rings, and Lord of the Rings really started coming around strong in the 60s and 70s. That's what I mean. It's like someone that has a very strong tie to that kind of general age and those themes and those things. That's the energy that's coming through, and it's saying that you're also interested in those things and you also enjoy those things, and therefore it just kind of gave me like a grandfather energy, most likely. That's what I mean. It's saying just it's like you're looking at all the artifacts in somebody's display case, and some of them are still connected to your life and some of them are totally new, and that's where you get to decide who you want to be. Which cups do you want to keep? Are you throwing everything out? Are you taking just one? What parts of yourself are you taking along the way? And it's kind of mysterious, right? And discombobulating, that's an interesting word that's coming through, is discombobulating, to try and figure out who you are, because technically a piece of you resides in each of these cups. And that's why they're all in this display case together, because this display case wouldn't look nearly as interesting if there was only one of these cups in there, right? Maybe you need all these aspects of yourself, and that's kind of a message that's coming through. Maybe you need all of these aspects of yourself, right? Knight of Pentacles. That's what I was saying. Kind of felt a little bit like a grandfather energy, and this just straight up makes me think of a grandfather. Now, this is a Knight of Pentacles. It's not necessarily a king. So again, could be a little bit of a younger energy. Knights usually come in as kind of like teenagers and stuff like that when we talk about age energy. So it could be something along those lines. However, let's just say this is somebody that's very steadfast and steady. Also, it's showing me his uniform and his helmet and his experience, what he's doing right now too, because it's showing me that this energy, this ancestor, this I really do feel, I feel like it's a combo of things, that this ancestor that's kind of trying to talk to you has like been to the African savannah, has been to war, has been traveling the world before, and has learned a lot about life. And they're here to tell you, like, right, slow and steady wins the race. Stay hydrated. That's a big message. It's going to be stay hydrated, because water is protective. Water feeds you and nourishes you. And that's what I mean. It's like, just keep on trucking. Like, you've got your steam pack. It's just, there's very much this line kind of coming through about just like, walk a mile in my shoes, or I've been in your shoes. And it's almost like he's bringing this artifact to this case right here, right? It's like he's bringing something new. And that is a beautiful message. If we're coming through this full moon portal and the veil is thin, and we're here at the, you know, fall equinox and everything, like, he is bringing a new item, this possible ancestor, possibly working through someone very real in real life, because this is Pentacles, this is earth energy, this is solid and real. So this could be a relative, and it's like they're bringing a piece of your history. They're bringing something with you to add to this display case, and that is a piece of you, and it could very much be an ancestor working through them to help bring this piece to you. And so that's where it's trying to acknowledge, it's trying to tell you to acknowledge that spirit doesn't only work in mysterious ways. It works through the people around you. And so it's basically implying that someone very real is bringing you a piece of yourself. I would bet something that is emotionally fulfilling, because this is a water canteen. Something very protective and nurturing, because this is that pentagram, which was originally carved into this candle here. And it's like this relative's going to bring you a piece of that for you to study and look at. And it's going to add to who you are. And it's going to make you feel a little bit more whole and a little bit more like yourself, right? And that's what you've been waiting on, because you had to let go of a lot of things. And this is part of that rebirth. Yeah, water grants life to everything, right? And also, if this was like a person that you lost, whether it was a child or just any other kind of person, that's what I mean. It's like they're coming back. They're bringing this back to you. You've been waiting on this for a long time to see if maybe there's confirmation that they have connected to the other side, and this is kind of like that's what they're doing. They're going to use one of your other relatives who is still alive to possibly come bring you something, and that's the connection you'll see that clicks, and you're like, oh yes, okay, there we go. Now I can see that my ancestors and my spirits are working with me. What a beautiful little message for you, pile 1. I think you should definitely be on the lookout for that, and I think more importantly, this Scorpio season should be embraced for what it is, but it looks like you got some new things heading your way. So let me know how that resonates for you guys. Happy Halloween, happy Hallows Eve, happy blue full moon. It was 3:45 when I looked at the clock right then. So that is a nice progression message for you, and I'm going to move on to pile 2 now. I will see you guys later. Thank you. Hello, pile 2. How are you doing? Hope you're doing wonderful. So if you chose this pile, let's get started. And we're going to dig in with your Lenormand card first and see what exactly this reading is about for you so we can stay on track. It just wanted me to say, I hope you like the setup. So somebody's probably digging the crystal setup here, or the candles and everything. And let's just see what's coming through for you guys for this Halloween full moon portal. The mice. There is something gnawing at you. And it wants me to point out these 3 of Cups too, because even though this is a Lenormand card, which functions a little bit differently than a tarot card, these 3 cups in a traditional tarot represent joy, celebration, getting back together, reunions, just like little parties where you're having a good time, right? To see rats and mice on the table, it's literally like they're spoiling your joy, they're spoiling your fun, they're spoiling your feast. There's something literally gnawing at you and eating the treats off of the table. So this is like your emotions in your mind. There's something gnawing at you, pile 2. Let's see what's up. Now that's funny because I was about to point out that this is a 7 of clubs. A 7 of clubs in a playing deck is a 7 of wands, and look what popped up. A 7 of wands. It just, wow, it just said she's fighting for you. It also just said though that like you are fighting for her. This is seeing a 7 of wands and a 7 of wands technically come out right here. This is the gnawing. It's like there is so much inwardly, outwardly that you are fighting for. And that's what's gnawing at you, is you seem to be constantly fighting for something. And I think that the question is like, so is it gnawing at you that some part of you or some other energy possibly is fighting for you? Is that what's making you like bite your fingernails and gnaw? Or is it just said, or is it the fact that you're stuck at this banquet and you know this person's out here fighting for you, and it's like you're okay. Woo, what a weird, interesting little scenario. It was basically implying like one person's here, either inside, outside, or just in 2 different locations, and it's like they're both in their different ways fighting for what they believe in, fighting off other people, fighting off stress, fighting off angst and anxiety. Ooh, nice. It just said though, like, okay, the whole reason why it said she's fighting for you is because it's implying that there is someone in your life that is A, helping you, B, can possibly be a transmuter. And what is a transmuter? A transmuter is basically an empath or a psychic empath or anybody like that who sometimes, unfortunately, picks up everyone's feelings and energies, right? Sometimes they're meant to do this. Sometimes they get too bogged down with everyone's energy and they transmute it, which means that they internalize it and transform it and turn it into something else. What does that mean for you? That could mean crying. That could mean making art. That could mean working. That could mean anything where you take a previous energy that wasn't working for you and you transform it into something else, right? That is what transmuting is, and that is what this is saying, that there is something, someone specifically, it seems like, that is transmuting for you, and in doing so, they are therefore fighting for you. And so this is saying that there is what you might be going to see like a Reiki healer, or maybe you're going to more of these tarot readings and stuff like that, and that's what it's explaining. Like me, the reader, sometimes especially if I can catch a heavy wave of emotion off of some decks or a reading, like I will transmute a lot for people, and it can get really exhausting for sure. So, and that's where it's also saying, nice, Spirit, it's saying that you might be transmuting for this person too. And maybe that's why this stuff is gnawing at you, because maybe you weren't aware that you're actually transmuting other people's energies, right? Maybe you weren't aware that you were picking up energies off of other people and therefore transmuting them. And that can be really confusing when you don't understand that, because instead it can just feel like you're dealing with everybody else's shit. Is literally what it just said. Like, it's like you're dealing with everybody else's shit. But you're not. You're learning. It's saying you're learning about yourself. It's saying that you are transmuting, that you can transmute people's energies, which therefore makes you a healer. You are a healer. Wow. And it wants me to do this hand specifically for you, because in all of the, oh gosh, I wish I had a thing around here. I do. Hang on. I have a different deck, and I bet you it's in here. There, in all of the ancient religious paintings of Jesus, he always has a hand up in blessing. And I have this artist deck, which is just really funny. It's like all these famous artists and life advice. Man, pile 2, I don't know why it wants to hear it. Kind of, almost. So this artist in particular used to do a lot of Jesus paintings, and that's the thing. He made himself look like Jesus, and it's not doing the right hand. But basically, if you look at all the old religious kind of paintings, there's always kind of like this hand, and it's very gentle, and it's not a peace sign. It's not like anything. It's a sign of blessing. You see it in Buddha as well. And that's what I mean. It's like this, it was saying like, you are a healer, you are a transmuter, you can bless people. You can bless people just by touching them with your hands. And it's saying like you might seriously be interested in Reiki. And if that's not your deal, then you just need to understand the power of your own energy and what exactly you're doing. So this has been gnawing at you for a while, and someone is fighting for you. You might be fighting for them. You might both be transmuting energies. It definitely feels like two different people. Feels like two different people right here. Look at that beautiful King of Cups energy. That's what I'm saying, pile 2. That's what I'm saying, pile 2. Pisces, Scorpio, what's my other water sign? Cancer. Excuse me. Sorry, pile 2. I had a phone call there in the middle. Everything. So I was just saying, definitely water signs coming through. Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This could be you evolving with this double 7 of Wands. So 77, that's an angel number. 77, there we go. That's the angel number. There's definitely some things coming through with that, but this King of Cups is talking about, yes, your inner emotional maturity, which now let me tell you straight up, if you are an empath, if you are transmuting stuff, you are all up in this water energy all the time, and it can be very deep, definitely. This King of Cups in the upright, though, he's ready to go to those depths, though, and handle it, though. When I look at this card, I see the guy that's like at the theater and just enjoyed a beautiful play or an opera or what have you. He's drinking the wine, and then he can have a very elegant conversation afterwards about the emotions and the artistry and the production and the da-da-da-da-da. And it's not because he's just trying to make small talk. It's because he actually connects to the metaphor and the symbolism and everything that's coming through, right? This is a man that is in touch with his artistic, emotional, more sensitive side. And that's where being an empath totally comes in with a King of Cups, because they can feel everything, they can sense everything, and they do make really great healers, because water energy is always, always healing. It is your emotions. It is your intuition. Water cleanses us, bathes us, baptizes us, all that stuff, right? So that's what it's saying, is like, it's kind of suggesting that through this energy is being established. It is Scorpio season, so it's also saying, though, like with this water energy coming through, you might really feel like you get on top of this energy during the Scorpio full, or it's not a Scorpio full moon, but Scorpio season, this kind of October, November, Halloween era season. And then, yeah. Oh, look at that. It just said, and they lived happily ever after. What it was kind of implying was, number one, this girl is actually this angel, which was like, that's what I was saying in the very beginning intro of this video. Like, Archangel Michael came through very strong for me last night. And what was so surprising, fun fact, I've been writing a book series since I was 14 years old. I'm now 30. It's been a very long time. But I was rereading my second book, the second part of, what am I trying to say? It's getting all tangled up. And that's what it wants to say. It's letting you know that it's getting all tangled up because it's never been separate. I have the first book and the second book, for the most part, written out. And the third book is something that I would be building on. So I was reading my second book lately. And I got to a chapter last night that I wrote in 2016. It's now 2020. And I wrote about Archangel Michael in the middle of this chapter. And I was just sitting there like, seriously? Because back then I didn't do any of this stuff. I wasn't connected to my spiritual work like that. And that's what it was saying, was just like, I've been writing and connected to this stuff for a lot longer than I realized. And that's what it's kind of saying to you too, is like, that's what it's kind of saying. It's like, you didn't know that this person was an angel. And doesn't necessarily have to be like a person. It can also say, though, like, it's saying that our angels work through people around us, number one. And so the fact that these two pair up so well is saying, like, your angel is working through maybe possibly real people around you. That's why they're fighting for you. That's why they're healing for you. That's why they're transmuting for you, and you vice versa. You can equally be this angel to someone, right? But it's also saying, though, that you've been connected to this higher realm spirit for much longer than you realized, and you might be really waking up to that in the middle of this whole full moon thin veil cycle. And then it kind of just, but then it simultaneously also brings these two figures, of course, back here. And that's where it's saying, like, and they lived happily ever after. It's like, it just said, like, maturity has to be established, and then we can move to this phase. You have to recognize both this energy within yourself and with whoever this person represents for you. And once you kind of recognize that, right, it's like, that's literally the angelic blessing, the spirit that comes out of this hand holding. It's like, you've been connected to this higher spirit for so much longer. It just said, this is in the bag. It's so beautiful. It's showing the nature of organic nature, and then of course the more mechanical aspects, and it's kind of bringing up how it literally, like, all these cards just go and like all come together in this Lover's card here for you. And it's just so pretty. It's so lovely. So this is what's been gnawing at you. I think that it's not necessarily that there's something gnawing at you. It's that you didn't recognize that possibly you and or someone else is fighting for something. And it does want to say that this could totally be just you. If you're not feeling the two-person vibe, then this can totally be just you, right? Your feminine energy is fighting, your masculine energy is doing great. Together you're going to come together inside of yourself and be happily ever after with whatever it is you're doing. Could be a relationship for sure, though. And if it's been gnawing at you, what it's really seeming to bring to the attention is that it just said you are gifted. You are very gifted. You are an empath, transmuter, healer, all that stuff. And now that you know this, you might feel more like this card. Ta-da! take it how it resonates, pile 2. What an interesting little pile. I'm going to move right along, though, to pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me. Stick around for that Black Obsidian Mirror if you want to gaze into the depths. And I will see you guys for pile 3. Thank you. Hello, pile 3. Last pile for this wonderful Halloween little special. Remember to stick around for gazing into the Black Obsidian Mirror later if you want to. Let's get started with your pile. So your pile wanted specifically 5 cards to come out. So you have a few more cards than anyone else had for their pull. So there is definitely a message coming through. And what is the core of it going to be about? Ooh, it just said loyalty, friendship. And it also said the dog star, Sirius. Now, we're not necessarily in a bunch of energy for Sirius at the moment, but of course, depending on your, it said starseed, so someone here is a starseed. Depending on your starseed connections, you could be connecting to Sirius. It wants me to like really line these suckers up today. But that's the thing, it's talking about loyalty, friendship, all of the good things. And this is a 10 of cups, right? So happiness, that's what I mean. Dog is a man's best friend. All those good warm fuzzy vibes is what's coming through, it feels like. Aww. It just said somebody made a friend. That's what I mean. We could easily kind of twist this dog into a lion, right? And that's where this loyalty and friendship comes in. It's like somebody made a friend. You have a lot of inner strength. You have an infinite amount of strength, an abundant amount of strength. And it was saying that you very much stopped to help somebody because they were hurt. And in doing so, you made a friend. This could be just emotional or mental healing. Just kind of, it just said common ground, like you're standing on the same ground, right? So common ground, that's what it was saying. It was like you connected on common ground. So there's, it's implying that you might be questioning about possibly this other person. So it's just kind of, that's why it's bringing this up in general. It's like, should I have done that? Are they really kind of loyal? Are they my friend? And it's saying this is a very loyal lion. This is a very good boy, like a very good dog, very good lion, very good friend, very good helper too, right? My right ear was just ringing a little bit. It's saying that the full moon will illuminate some things for you. It's going to illuminate your path for you. So maybe that's where some of that uncertainty was just picking up. Like, what about this person? Are they worth it? It was saying the full moon's definitely going to illuminate some things for you because you weren't very sure. And look, there's another dog. And then there's a cat. There's lots of... Okay. Woo! Pile 3, you have lots of little spirit animals around you at this time. And they could be literally from the other side, from on the other side of the veil. So long lost pets. Oh, that's so cute. That's what it feels like. It feels like a long lost pet. Like you stopped to help a long lost pet kind of too. And that's like, okay, that's the energy that's coming through to help deliver this message. Is like some of your best friends in life, right? And that's what it's saying, like they're keeping an eye out on you. You aren't sure about a situation. Should you have stopped and helped someone? Should you have expended your energy? Are they loyal? Are they friendly? And it's just saying very much that your former pets or any other spirit animals that are around you at this time are kind of keeping an eye on things with you to let you know that what you can't see, they are out here keeping an eye on. Interesting, it was saying go forth daringly. Like just gave me the funniest little voice. And the reason why it said that, though, I love this Knight of Wands. It's basically saying when you read the description of this card in the book, it says like she might honestly not know anything about ancient Egypt or what this could be a warning on the wall, right? Like we don't even know what these hieroglyphs mean. But she is brandishing out her little wand, which actually kind of turns into a sword. So there's a bit of a double symbolism here, right? She's like also a Knight of Swords. while also dressed up as a Knight of Wands. But it's saying that's the thing, is she's so daring. She doesn't care if this is a curse or a blessing on the wall. She doesn't care if it's a warning to not go in. She might not even know what these things say. She doesn't care. She's going to go in there and go get the treasure. And that's what it's kind of saying. It's like, just go in there. Just go in there and go get the treasure, right? Or go out there and go get the treasure. Either one. It's saying go forth daringly, because it doesn't want you to hold yourself back in fear. Your spirit animals and all your spirit guides are like, we're watching you. We got this. And it's saying that you're worried about rushing it. Okay. Woo! It's saying you're worried about rushing into things because you've been hurt before. And your spirit animals are like, don't worry. We're watching this stuff. We see who you truly are. And we see what you truly do. You just need to go forth daringly. Don't worry about this. We're watching this. And that's what it's saying. It's like, you're so afraid to, if it's really bringing it up. And like I was saying to pile one, there was a flicker of self-doubt before I started this reading. Like when I put, it was doing it for me too, but that's where I could tell that I was interpreting someone else's self-doubt. So it translated for me of like, does anyone even care about these readings? Like, do I sound like a total fool? Do I sound like an idiot doing this stuff? Right? And it was like, stop. Like, you've been doing this stuff for however, like almost a year now and everything. And it was just saying, like, you know yourself and you know your connections and you know what is important and meaningful to you and what's true for you. And that's what it's saying right here. It's like, whatever your core truth is, whatever that core passion is, go forth and do it daringly. Don't hold yourself back off of some self-doubt or wondering what other people are going to think, or is this situation going to turn out bad or good? Because Spirit is always keeping an eye on things for you, right? So it just says, go forth daringly. If things get rough, Spirit will help you out. Interesting. It just pointed out for the first time for me this square root of infinity, which of course there is no square root of infinity. But how interesting that it brings it up when we have it here in the strength sign, right? So this is you getting down to the square root of this strength. Where do you pull this empathy and this sympathy and this friendliness and loyalness from? What is the bottom line when it comes to where your loyalty lies? Where does your loyalty lie is what it's saying. And this Eight of Cups is a little different from some other decks. And the Eighth Cup is actually missing in this one. And it's like she's going out to go get the Eighth Cup. It's no longer about, let me walk away from everything. This is, I need to go get this. She's not walking away from this. She's going to go get the last cup so that she can complete this masterpiece. And while doing that, she is contemplating, right, the alignment of the stars. Where does my loyalty lie? What's the square root? Why am I so friendly? Why am I so loyal? Why am I like this? These are all positive things. Why does it make me feel kind of dark and gloomy and unsure? Here's that moon again, right? Interesting. Okay, this is very much implying, I'm going to slide this down. It's implying like your shadow self and your day self, right? Like these are the sunlight cards, these are the moon cards. That's what it's kind of saying, is like your shadow self is like, oh my god, I can't see what's going on, I'm so afraid. Why am I like this? Why am I doing this? Or should I do this again? Where does my loyalty, what is the square root of why I am the way that I am? Let me go get this cup. And meanwhile, your day self is like, hey, are you hurt? Let me stop and help you. Like, doesn't even worry about all this stuff. Hey, are you hurt? Let me stop and help you. Hey, let me go in there and do that exciting thing I want to do because I'm passionate about it, right? So where does your loyalty lie? Is it lying in here with all this angst and kind of that I'm catching, the self-doubt? Or is it in here with more of the sunlight and the excitement and the friendliness, right? What's this last card? Beautiful, though. We're finishing with an 8 and an 8, which is awesome because we are in October. And even though our Gregorian calendar does it as the 10th month, it is actually, of course, the original 8th month. So 8, power number. You got these little infinity 8s floating around. You got lots of 8s. This is very much abundant. Very much abundant. You just need to keep working on this. Keep working hard. You're making beautiful things in life, right? Beautiful things. You're doing wonderful. It's almost like this was the first one you made, and it gets more and more ornate and beautiful every time you work on it some more. And that's what I mean. It's like it's saying that you are this pinnacle too, because it's like you're always working on yourself. You're always working on this other person. You're always going after the 8th cup. You're always working on that 8th pinnacle. You're always working on your abundance and making yourself a better person. And that is where your loyalty should lie. Woo! Pile 3. That message just came through like really nice and beautiful there at the end. It just came right out. So I mean, it's like, do not sit here and worry about all this self-doubt and all this stuff and this fear. Your spirit animals are very much coming through. And that's where it's like they just want to walk by your side and run with you. They want to go into the thick of things with you because they think you're so brave and so daring, and they're always going to follow you. Spirit's always going to follow you. Whether you walk away or you sit and stay is what it just kind of said. Interesting when we have like a dog here and stay, right? It's like whether you walk away or you sit and stay, these animals are always, these spirit animals and spirit guides are always going to be with you no matter what. And that's why it says go forth daringly. Go forth daringly, because they are with you no matter what. It just gave me like an image of, I don't know, just like a bunch of people just like, like, right? Like they support you, like they're there to back you up. So it's like go forth daringly, because no matter what, spirit is with you always. And that's what I got for you, pile 3. So let me know how that resonates. I'm going to now switch over to a little meditation here with the Black Mirror, and you can stick around for that and see if you find anything in the mirror that interests you. And I will catch you guys later. Have a happy Halloween. Thank you. Okay, everyone, here is your Black Obsidian Mirror Gazing moment. You might be able to see the reflection of my phone in here for sure. Yes. So I'm going to tilt it just a little bit. And I'm just going to pose with it here for you guys. And after a while, I'm going to set it down and give you that opportunity as well. So you might see something different. And then I'll pause after a while. So your gazing session has begun. It's always good to close your eyes for a while and unfocus your eyes and then gaze gently. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a happy All Hallows Eve. Say hello to your ancestors and your angels. And everyone have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.